Day 33, this is what the war looks like. Israel is storming Gaza City. It says Hamas leaders are dead men walking both inside and outside Gaza. Israel is targeting the network of Hamas tunnels. It has also killed a top leader of the terror group. So right after the Israeli Prime Minister spoke about tactical pauses, his army is intensifying the strikes. Take a look at this. Like I said, Israeli forces have killed a key member of Hamas, and this happened today. His name is Mesouin Abu Zina. He manufactured weapons for Hamas. Israel says he was killed in their airstrikes. They're also ramping up their ground operations. The target is Hamas tunnels. Israeli troops are trying to map these tunnels. They're destroying them by planting explosives. And this is the trickiest part of their offensive, because Hamas tunnels are everywhere, all over the Gaza Strip, embedded with civilian infrastructure. They're under homes and hospitals, also an amusement park.
We are here at an amusement park. We found a logistical tunnel here. The tunnels didn't pass through this area. We bombed this now, and we will continue to do so wherever we find these tunnels.
This is part of the Hamas strategy. Use civilians as human shields. Build terror infrastructure in civilian areas, homes, schools, hospitals, so that the prospect of civilian casualties deters the world. But now they're under attack. Even then, these tunnels serve two purposes. One is to launch ambush attacks on Israel, and two, to hide hostages. So Israeli forces have a challenging mission ahead of them. They must neutralize the tunnels by going inside, checking for hostages, dealing with Hamas men, and then finally destroying these structures. These tunnels have been around since the 1980s. When Hamas took power in 2007, it expanded the tunnel network, started using it for military/terrorist operations. So how big is this tunnel network? Hamas says it's 500 kilometers long. This may be an exaggeration. For perspective, the Delhi metro is over 350 kilometers. And the Gaza Strip is barely 41 kilometers in length. So 500 kilometers sounds like a bit of a stretch. Nonetheless, it's an extensive network, and these tunnels run deep, sometimes as deep as 80 meters. Last month, Hamas released some hostages. They were held in the tunnels, and they described them as, quote-unquote, a spider's web. So if Israel wants to destroy Hamas, it must demolish the tunnels first. They give it tactical advantage. And neutralizing them will take time, perhaps the reason why Netanyahu is preparing for the long haul. We told you about this yesterday. The Israeli Prime Minister gave an interview. He was asked, who will govern Gaza after the war? He did not give a direct answer, but he did say that Israel will control Gaza's security for an indefinite period of time. And that statement triggered speculation. Is Israel planning to take control of Gaza, to occupy it? Now, the U.S. is concerned. Yesterday, President Joe Biden issued a warning. This is what the White House said. If Israel tries to reoccupy Gaza, America will strongly oppose it.
We don't support a reoccupation of Gaza by the Israeli Defense Forces. Look, we're friends, and friends don't have to agree on every single nuance and every single word. And I don't think it's any shock to anybody that on a political spectrum, they're not exactly always in the same place on every issue.
We don't have to agree on every single word. The statement is telling. Biden and Netanyahu have a long history together and a complicated relationship. When Netanyahu took office, Joe Biden did not invite him to the White House. And this is a tradition of sorts. The US president invites the Israeli prime minister. But Biden took more than 9 months to invite Netanyahu. And then last month, when the war broke out, Biden rushed to Israel. He offered his quote-unquote unwavering support to Israel. His approach has sharply divided America. As Israel dropped bombs on Gaza, Biden faced a barrage of criticism, including from lawmakers in his own party, like Rashida Tlaib. She's a US congresswoman, a Palestinian American. Soon after the war broke out, she released a statement. It had a popular Palestinian slogan. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's what she said. Now, pro-Palestine groups say this is a call for freedom. But Israel supporters have a different interpretation. They say Tlaib called for Israel's destruction. And the US Congress agrees. Yesterday, American lawmakers held a vote. It was in the House of Representatives. And they voted to censure Tlaib. Now, this is basically public shaming. When a lawmaker is censured, they're made to stand in the well of the House and listen to the Speaker read out a resolution for them. It's essentially a reprimand. The US House rejected Tlaib's statement. But she remains undeterred. Last Friday, she released a video. It accused President Joe Biden of supporting what she called a genocide.
We stand with Israel.
Mr. President, the American people are not with you on this one. We will remember in 2024.
So the Israel-Hamas war is not just about security anymore. It has divided the world. It has divided America. It has become a hot political issue in the US where lawmakers are under pressure to declare their allegiance.